Hello and welcome to this Christmas edition of the Christian Marriage Podcast. And this is a special edition because I am here with my wife, Sandy, and we're going to be talking about Christmas gifts. We had basically, I am really, really good at giving Christmas gifts, and I want to tell you how. I'm actually really bad at it. Anyway, we want to talk about that. Before we dive in, I'm Nick. I'm a Christian marriage coach with Path of Life Coaching. I'm so excited that you decided to join us. And I have a gift really quickly before we dive in. I want to give you my relationship model that helps you not feel confused and lost about what is happening in a marriage conflict. This is the conflict model that I have used over the course of years. It is the conflict model that helped us learn to connect and deal with conflict. It is the conflict model that I love and that I think can help you clear the fog and get through marriage conflict in a way that leaves you feeling more connected at the end of it. So go to my website, nickperrine.com, and grab that conflict model today. Okay, so you haven't said anything.
Presents.
Presents. Christmas presents. So let's talk about what we're actually talking about. So what is hard about Christmas presents? It should be so easy. Why was it, from your experience, what was hard about Christmas presents?
Well, I think we both grew up in different houses that celebrated Christmas and gift giving differently. And so we came into marriage with different expectations.
Okay. Yeah. I expected, I don't know what I expected. I expected
to do nothing.
I guess, or that it should just be easy. I don't actually know what I was expecting. I was expecting kind of just to, yeah. So I guess so. My dad didn't do anything for Christmas, and I guess my mom just kind of accepted that at some point and
did everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. She would verbalize like what she wanted for Christmas from your dad, and if anything. Anyways. Whereas my family, thought about what to get each other in advance and put time and energy into getting the gift prior to Christmas Eve. And
gifts were important. Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't just tradition, but so poignantly, the problem that we're talking about is we did not have a happy Christmas together for 4, 5, 6 years of our 10 years of marriage, 11 years of marriage now.
Yeah.
Like she would, after Christmas, I came to just expect that she would be disappointed and be mad at me for a couple days after Christmas, mm-hmm. at least.
And I tried really hard not to be, but it just made it so easy to be, so.
Okay, so that's what we're talking about. And it was hard. I mean, what was the hardest part for you of Christmas in those first years?
I didn't feel cared for and loved.
Why? Why not?
Because you didn't give me a gift that I wanted. So
I didn't give you a gift, and I didn't give you a gift that you wanted, and it made it feel like I didn't care about you.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think the hardest part for me was just feeling like a disappointment. I think, I mm-hmm. could not make you happy. It felt like, from my experience, it felt like I would try and it just wasn't enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, there's times whenever I didn't really try nearly as much as I should have and everything. And which I don't know that I would have said that then. I thought at the time, I probably thought I was trying, but so you just ended up feeling really uncared for. And I ended up feeling like
you failed.
Yeah, I failed, and it wasn't, and I was never going to be able to make her happy. And so it put me into this kind of, well, whatever, why try? It's never going to be good enough.
The failure complex.
Yeah, failure complex. Hopelessness, and there is a gift, kind of a stereotypical gift that we talk about. Do you want to tell that story?
Oh yeah. Well, I guess the first story I want to tell is like the first Christmas we ever spent together. I think we were just dating. I gave you a very thoughtful like gift, and you came out of it like, oh my gosh, that was such a good gift.
I don't even remember this.
Yeah. And I think you just like got me a bottle of perfume that I had like specifically asked for.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was it.
Which you had asked for, but that was it.
That was it, yeah. And so I should have known. And you should have known. But I don't know, that just sticks out of like, yeah, just kind of the theme that went on. And then through years, you would.
I even remember getting you that gift, and to this day I remember being like, I got her what she wanted, you know, what she told me. I got her what she told me to get her.
Yeah,
I was very proud of myself. I still am.
Over the years, I think the easiest thing for you has been like, you always get me an ornament. You should get me an ornament again this year.
Yeah.
And
I already have it ordered.
Whoa. And then, yeah, so that helped. Like, it was a little bit of a Band-Aid throughout the years because
there was one thing where I kind of took initiative, and you could tell that
it was thoughtful.
Tried.
Yeah.
I don't know how thoughtful it was, because often it was like Christmas Eve when I was running to the Hallmark store. But I always spent time, went there, got an ornament that I thought would be meaningful to us this year.
Yeah.
So
the year you got me the Hip and Knee book, you did spend a good amount of time on the ornament. You made me a stained glass ornament.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was probably the worst Christmas
That was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, tell that story a little bit, because I've
blocked it out of my memory.
From my perspective, I spent, literally hours with a friend of ours hand making a stained glass ornament for you for Christmas, and hours, and I was pretty proud of it. And
it was nice. It's a nice ornament.
It's one of my favorite ornaments. But I also, on top of that, I got you a book about hip and knee pain, because
I have hip and knee pain.
You had been having hip and knee pain.
I think it was really the only gift you got me.
I can't remember anything else that I got you that year.
Yeah.
And I thought that I had put in a lot of work, and two, I had given you a thoughtful gift that was very relevant to your life. And to my mind, it was extremely thoughtful. That's what I was going into this Christmas feeling.
Yeah.
What was it like for you?
Disappointing.
Why?
Because the gift or the book was not something that I desired or had ever thought about getting. And
in conclusion, I think this is part of our story where we learned to love each other. And I think what I'm taking away from this is there was some things that we needed to accept about each other, instead of fighting against what we saw in each other. We came to accept some things about each other.
#marriage.
Sure, right? It's a fundamental principle. But what that allowed us to do was kind of be creative with problem solving. Instead of like fighting each other and just saying, "Why can't you be this way?" Why can't you just let go of the materialism or whatever? Or why can't you just get me gifts that make me feel cared for? To say, okay, I accept you. It actually let us be creative in problem solving and being helpful to each other, and that made things better, like tangibly better. It was not everything that each of us wanted, but it is tangibly better.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate you being here, my love, and
I'll be back.
I'm sure you will be back. One more ask of you, our listener. If you have found this helpful in any way, it would be one thing that would be really helpful for me is if you could email me, nick@nickprine.com. One thing that we need to keep these episodes going are recommendations for Christian couples who you have come to respect, so that I can reach out to them and they can come on the podcast and share their stories of the ways that they've been comforted and strengthened by God through hard things, so that we can keep telling the stories of how God is helping and has helped and will help his people through difficult marriage situations. So if you will email me with your suggestions of a married couple who you respect as a faithful Christian couple, that would be really helpful. The other question that I have for you is that you can leave a comment on YouTube or leave me a review on Spotify and answer this question. Have you had difficulties getting gifts for each other? And what was helpful for you in navigating through that? Leave me a comment or a review, and it would be great to see what other kind of wisdom that you could share from your experiences. So thank you so much, and thank you for being here. Love you, and we will talk to you soon.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.